And somebody in his campaign said that 1 million that they're talking about, that's probably grown to 5.
Right.
At this point, but she's got like 42.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So
well, we know Hillary has money, and we know we've even been hearing where all she gets her money from sometimes, but that's her personal money, and her campaign money is different. Of course.
Well, and she's raised a lot for campaign money,
mm-hmm.
but the issue is going to be Bernie Sanders really shook her up in the sense that they thought that he would never be able to rival her with fundraising because he wasn't going to get large donations. He got a lot of small donations, and he did rival her and Donald Trump, by the way, in fundraising. So that is money that the Democrats rely on. The Democratic Party for years and years has relied on half of their money coming from labor unions and corporations and half of them coming from small donations from working class people. Those people who gave that $67 or whatever it was to Bernie Sanders are not going to give that to Hillary Clinton, okay? The reason being is they don't think she needs the money. They think she has plenty of money on her own.
Well, they may not want to give it to her either.
And for different reasons.
Yeah.
But for the same talk, a lot of Republicans say, I don't need to give Donald Trump any. He doesn't need any of my money. He can fund his own campaign. That's where a lot of Republicans are right now. And it's going to take some persuading because while Donald does have his own personal wealth, I don't think that people understand this will be a $3 billion election, and he needs that money because he's not going to be able to buy airtime without it, and he's not going to get the constant free. He's going to still get free airtime, but when it gets to general election time, equal time laws come into play, and you're going to have challenges from the Democrats if they feel like Donald's getting more time on air than Hillary.
Does he know you're out here, Gary? I'm like, he really needs to get you on his campaign trail. Maybe I could send him a little message and let him know that you might need a new strategist. And I know the guy for you, but
well, he's basically got one. He got rid of Corey Lewandowski. From what I hear from sources inside the campaign, that a lot of it has to do with friction between his children and Corey. Corey has, number one, Donald Trump's children. If you have the opportunity to choose, Donald Trump's children are bright people, and they're very strong,
really are.
and they are the better advisor there. And he's had some statements there in the past, including about the judge, that I don't think would have happened with Paul Manafort at the helm. Paul Manafort is experienced, and I think he's the best man for the job. If you're going to go out and have a strong campaign that's going to let Trump be Trump, but still have those basic organizations, because the problem is with Hillary has state chair and state co-chair and state boards in every state. They haven't really done that yet. And while you may not have needed that in the primary, you're going to need it in the general, because I've told you and our listeners before, the Electoral College is stacked against Republicans, and we really have to play out in those strong key swing states in order to win this, because Donald Trump can win the popular vote and lose the presidency because he does not do the key states correctly, those key swing states. And he's also got to go after those Bernie Sanders states, the Rust Belt states, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, Kentucky. I think he's doing to do well here, but it is the Clinton campaign has targeted Kentucky, and it is considered a target state according to the polling. So we have to make sure Indiana is the same way. Both the states here are targeted states by both campaigns, and they're considered too close to call. I think that's a big jump toward Hillary Clinton to say Indiana is too close to call, but we're going to go with it, and we should treat it as such and make sure it's a landslide.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about that and so much more, and we have some breaking news that we're going to disclose to you. And it will only be heard right here on Just Ask Joyce. I'm kind of excited about that.
That's right. It's good news.
You'll know you have to stay tuned. Don't go away.
WFIA, The Spirit.
Congratulations, Louisville. This is Steve Arterburn, and for 50 years you've been blessed with a radio station in your community that has helped spread the good news of the gospel and help bring new followers to Jesus Christ. It's an outstanding achievement, and we're proud to be a part of WFIA's past, present, and future. From all of us at New Life Ministries, happy anniversary. And join me weekdays at 1 o'clock for New Life Live right here on WFIA, The Spirit.
Babies are being saved in Louisville thanks to your support of a Woman's Choice Resource Center. Continue that support and join us Monday, July 11th for the 2016 Rick Bordas Scramble for Life, sponsored by Inside Connect Cable at the beautiful Lake Forest Country Club in eastern Jefferson County. Help support life in our community and enjoy a great day of golf. Register online at awclifesavers.org or call 502-569-0494.
Hi, my name is Holton. I'm a senior at Christian Academy of Louisville, and I've been here since kindergarten. Cal's just a really good school because they have great athletics, and the teachers really care about the students. The students care about each other. The teachers really do care about what you're learning. They've really taught me a lot about studying, about taking notes, and really how to succeed as a person. Since I've been at Cal, I've played baseball, lacrosse, and soccer and football. And I've also been in the Y Club, in the Spirit Club, and the Latin Club, and I've been in the National Honor Society. I'm very fortunate at Christian Academy to be able to go to the college of choice, and not only that, but have a full scholarship there. You know, that's a testament to what Cal's done for me. If I could thank Cal for one thing, it would be for preparing me for college and being able to form relationships with people around me. If all this sounds good to you, you can check out Christian Academy online or schedule a tour.
Almost 4 in 10 high school seniors in Kentucky don't fill out the free application for federal student aid, the FAFSA. We asked students why that is.
I honestly have no idea what the FAFSA is.
At my high school, they don't really talk about the financial aid or FAFSA for that matter.
Filling out the FAFSA is the first step to getting your share of $150 billion in financial aid. And it just got easier. Visit knowhowtogoky.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by the Pritchard Committee Student Voice Team and the Council on Post-Secondary Education.
So, we've been saddled with the impossible task of telling you all the things your new WFIA app can do. Ready? Stream with the touch of a button. Go to our webpage, our Facebook, our Twitter. Shop Hourly.club with the touch of a button. Send us emails instantly. Send us voice messages instantly. Call us with one touch. Take an instant poll with one touch. Scroll through and listen to one of our podcasts. Get live feeds from Christian Headlines, from Daily Devotionals, National Ministries, and more. But we're out of time. You know, you can get it all free right now from WFIAFM.com. You're listening to Just Ask Joyce on WFIA, The Spirit.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Breaking news. Don't you just love this? You're only going to hear this right here, right now, nowhere else. And I am so excited. I've been wanting to say this for a long time, but the timing just has not been right. But now I can tell you. You want me to tell them or you want to tell them, Garrett?
You go ahead.
I'm so excited. Garrett, you've been hearing Garrett on WFIA now since January of this year at least, and he as I have said many, many times, he has come to be well respected, well loved by the listenership, and we have come to trust him with what he says. I mean, if he brings it to you, I can tell you he's going to bring you as much information as there is out there. But in his head is just, I'm like, I wish I could retain all the facts that this young man retains. I mean, it's amazing. But trust me, I've spent a lot of time in prayer about this. I'm like, Lord, he just really needs his own show. He just really does. So I started praying about that. Well, guess what? He's got it.
Yep.
He has his own show.
That's right.
Starting July the 9th on our sister station, WGTK. And it is going to be, you tell them when they can start.
Saturdays at noon, and it's going to be replayed Sundays at 10 o'clock. Then beginning in the fall, it'll be Sundays at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock p.m.
10 p.m. Yes, 10 p.m.
And Saturdays at noon.
Saturdays
Isn't that
at noon.
exciting?
Yes.
So
hey, I'm pumped.
Guys, I know I am so thrilled for Garrett. Congratulations. One Nation is going to be, and I mean, isn't that just awesome? Because he is really, he's like, he just brings it so fair and balanced, and I love it. And he brings unity to his conversation, does he not? So I am so thrilled, and I know that you are too. So if you want to call today, 571-2428, and say congratulations to Garrett, but you're welcome to. We're going to talk about so many aspects today. of this election and just what's going on with that. But you will be able to hear Garrett in his own show. I'm so proud. I'm so stinking proud. I love it. We talked about answered prayer yesterday on the show, and here's another one for me. So I'm excited, and I know your parents are too.
Oh, yes, they are. They're very excited. Very excited.
So, well, I know all of us around this studio are very excited. So, welcome aboard, Garrett.
Well, thank you.
That's great, man.
Aboard. I know.
I'm happy to be part of the family. Yeah.
I know it is. It's a big, cool family. So, anyway, all right. So now, Trump gave a speech today, and I was texting Gary. I got to get my Garretts and Garys right. I was texting Gary and saying, "Okay, can you pull this sound bite up? Can you pull this one up?" But here's the ringer, I think, of anything that Trump was saying today. And I, Webby, you were saying that they've already made headlines out of this one.
Oh, yes. Yes. It's going to be the tagline for the speech, no doubt.
It really will be. And I figured that it was going to crescendo to that. And by crackies, it did. So here we go.
The father of the Orlando shooter.
Not that one. Not that one. That's
was
right.
a Taliban supporter from
It's all right. Yeah,
Hillary Clinton.
Yep.
And as you know, most people know, she's a world-class liar. Just look at her pathetic email server statements or her phony landing. Or her phony landing in Bosnia, where she said she was under attack, and the attack turned out to be young girls handing her flowers. A total and look, this was one of the buttes. A total and self-serving lie. Brian Williams' career was destroyed for saying less. Just remember that. Hillary Clinton has perfected the politics of personal profit and even theft. She ran the State Department like her own personal hedge fund, doing favors for oppressive regimes, and many others, and really many, many others, in exchange for cash. Pure and simple, folks. Pure and simple. Then when she left, she made $21.6 million giving speeches to Wall Street banks and other special interests, and in less than 2 years, secret speeches that she does not want to reveal under any circumstances to the public. I wonder why. Together, she and Bill made $153 million giving speeches to lobbyists, CEOs, and foreign governments in the years since 2001. They totally own her, and that will never, ever change, including if she ever became president. God help us.
Okay. All right. That was a loaded soundbite. It's not the one that I was thinking that was going to be the tagline, where he says that she is probably the most corrupt. You have that one? All right.
The father of the Orlando shooter was a Taliban supporter from Afghanistan, one of the most repressive anti-gay and anti-woman regimes on earth. I only want to admit people who share our values and love our people. Hillary Clinton wants to bring in people who believe women should be enslaved and gays put to death. Maybe her motivation lies among the more than 1,000 foreign donations Hillary failed to disclose while at the State Department. Hillary Clinton may be the most corrupt person ever to seek the presidency of the United States.
Sorry, Gary, you did have that right. But all right, that's a really strong statement by Trump. really strong statement.
Yeah, but it's got a lot of backing to it in the sense
it did,
that,
and he presented it.
Last week we talked about donations both from the federal government
Yes.
and to the Clinton Foundation, and then also to Hillary personally. I have a huge problem with it because we have the Clinton Foundation's goal and purpose was to expand freedom and democracy around the world to people who are oppressed and otherwise not accessing democracy and freedom. To take the money from these leaders who run these regimes in the Middle East is ridiculous.
Well,
and
doesn't
it's
it?
counterintuitive.
It's
to
counterintuitive
to their goal.
And doesn't it always also obligate her in some? Could it not? Obligate her in some way?
I mean, obviously it could. I mean, that's an issue. But I tell you, my biggest complaint on top of that, and this proves, once you talk about the obligation here, that if she's taking money from them personally, she's going to continue to give them money from the government, and our taxpayer dollars should not continue to go to Saudi Arabia, should not continue to go to Qatar,